During March of this year, while investigating JJY's phones to reveal the truth about the Burning Sun scandal, the police dug up evidences of stars of the famous TV show One Night, 2 Days, Junho and Taehyun gambling. Well, they say gambling, but not really. They were basically playing golf and betting high sums of money, so it's not like they were constantly doing it or causing any harm to each other. But of course, there was a lot of money involved for just the golf game, around $2,000 per game. But both of them are rich men, so I don't see how they can't just have fun. It would be the same as a broke man like myself betting a couple bucks while playing StarCraft with a friend or something. What I'm trying to say is that it's not a big deal. And that's what a lot of the Korean public said when this issue was happening. I rarely saw any opinions of people criticizing these two celebrities for gambling while playing golf. Just recently, the charges on these celebrities have been removed and they were found not guilty during investigation. Perhaps mostly because they weren't doing it habitually and it was just a one-time thing for them. So this is like end of the story for this case. They're not guilty, that's it. And I think issues like this stir up a lot of questions in international K-pop fans and their communities about why Korea has some of the world's heaviest regulated gambling laws. So today we're gonna talk about gambling in Korea. Alright, let's go. I'll see you there. So I mentioned this in my other videos, but if you're a Korean national and you gamble abroad in areas where it's completely legal to do so, like Macau or Las Vegas, you still can face gambling charges when you come back to Korea. Of course, this is a very symbolic law, and I think it only applies to people who do it habitually, but still, just know that it's out there for us. Surprisingly though, if you walk around Seoul and at some international airports, it's easy to see some huge casino advertisements, and that's because we have more than 20 casinos here in Korea today. But out of them, all but one casino bans all Korean nationals from entering. Yes, so basically these casinos are only for international travelers and customers. And the only Korean nationals that are allowed to enter these casinos would be the people who have citizenships or permanent residency status in different countries. Kind of like Shu from SES, who also faced gambling charges but has a permanent residency status from Japan. The only casino in Korea that accepts Korean nationals is the infamous Gangwon-land Hotel and Casino, located in a very remote area of Gangwon province. And it was built with the purpose of bringing up the economy in an economically underdeveloped area. It was also built in a remote area because the government wanted to prevent the salarymen from Seoul and the nearby regions from habitually gambling every day. The casino is actually pretty hard to reach considering the fact that you have to use hours of public transport just to get there from Seoul. Regardless, the casino sees about 10,000 customers daily, which is basically 5 times more than the seating capacity of the casino itself. According to my friends who have been there several times in their lifetime, the place has so many customers that you basically have to wait in line to play any game there. So why is it that Korea has some of the world's most heavily regulated gambling laws? Of course, there isn't a clear answer to questions like this, but I can make a personal guess for you guys. So I think back in the day, when Korea still had little money and it was very underdeveloped, a lot of people fell into gambling. And unlike the nice casinos of today, the small private gambling parlors back in the days were owned by gangsters. And the people who participated in gambling at these parlors often lost control of themselves and their gambling habits and easily got addicted. And eventually a lot of these people started falling into criminal activities to support their gambling habits. Of course, this was much more common back in the day compared to now. And because I am a pretty young guy, I personally don't know anybody who has fallen into terrible gambling habits in Korea. But of course, because a lot of people who hold power and make the laws here in Korea tend to be from the older generation, they remember the people that were around them who lost control of their gambling habits and therefore hold on to their strong belief that gambling shouldn't be available to all. According to an interview with the director of tourism in South Korea's Ministry of Culture, he says, Koreans are particularly susceptible to gambling addiction. Our feeling is that Korea does not have a mature culture that could enjoy gambling simply as a leisurely activity. We block Koreans from casinos because the fallout would be too big. Many people like me, or those around me, don't really care about the fact that Korea has strong regulations against gambling because I think there is a negative view on gambling itself in Korea. And a lot of people live on without the urge of wanting to gamble in the first place. So I guess what this means is that it's never been something that's important to us and something that people were willing to fight for to change. But even under these heavy regulations that the government imposes, will some people find ways to gamble? Yes. Is gambling available in Korea? Yes. Aside from the legal Gangwon-land casinos, legal sports bettings, and horse races, there are various illegal gambling sites with high limits available. And did you know that when you're visiting Korea, there are certain PCbangs that you should never ever visit? To be continued.